Every leader has a moment, that quiet pause between I think I can, I'm not so sure. Welcome to Tutum Talk with me, Cara. Together, we'll explore what it means to lead with heart, to build confidence not from control, but from connection. Because your leadership isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when you trust yourself, your team will too. Join me as we explore leadership in the everyday and beyond. Welcome back to Tutum Talk. I'm really glad you're here. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge something quietly true. If you press play on this episode, there's a good chance you've felt misunderstood in your leadership, your relationships, or simply in how you move through the world. Today's conversation is gentle and honest. It's about what happens when you show up as yourself and it doesn't quite land the way you intend. We're going to talk about how that happens, why it's so common for deeply caring people, and how to reclaim your strengths without shrinking, armoring, or explaining yourself into exhaustion. You're direct, and they say you're cold. You're steady, and they say you're not passionate enough. You take your time, and they say you're resistant to change. What's especially hard about this isn't the feedback itself. It's the confusion it creates. Because internally, you know your heart. You know your values. You know the care behind your actions. And yet, the story being told about you doesn't match the truth you're living. This episode is about closing that gap, not by changing who you are, but by reconnecting with what's true. Because your strengths were never the problem. The narrative around them just might be. There's a specific kind of dissonance that comes with being misunderstood. It's subtle, it's quiet, and it often sounds like an internal question looping in the background. Am I missing something? Do I need to be different for this to work? Why does this feel so hard when I'm trying so earnestly? Many people listening to this podcast are steady, thoughtful, emotionally intelligent humans. You lead with intention. You value integrity over performance. You care deeply, sometimes more than people realize. And yet, you may find yourself being misread. Not loudly, not dramatically, but just enough to make you doubt yourself. Today is about naming that experience with compassion and without turning it inward as self criticism. Here's something important to understand: strengths don't exist in isolation, they live inside systems, inside cultures, inside relationships shaped by expectations, stress, and past experiences. What you bring into a room is filtered through other people's nervous systems and beliefs about leadership, care, and authority. So, directness can be interpreted as coldness when someone expects emotional cushioning. Calm can be read as disengagement in environments addicted to urgency. Thoughtfulness can be labeled hesitation in cultures that reward speed over wisdom. And independence can feel like distance to someone who equates closeness with reassurance. Often, these interpretations say far more about the environment than about you. But when the distortion repeats, it's human to start questioning yourself. Misunderstanding doesn't require bad intentions to do harm. Even well meaning feedback can slowly erode confidence if it consistently asks you to abandon your natural way of being. When strengths are misunderstood for long enough, adaptation becomes a survival strategy. You may notice yourself over explaining your decisions before anyone even asks, over functioning to prove your care and competence, performing warmth instead of resting in presence, or pulling back entirely to avoid being misjudged. These are not flaws. They are intelligent responses to feeling unsafe or unseen. But over time, they come at a cost. You begin managing perception instead of leading from alignment. You spend more energy translating yourself than trusting yourself. And leadership becomes something you perform instead of something you embody. That's exhausting and unnecessary. Reclaiming your strengths doesn't mean forcing understanding. It means choosing internal alignment over external approval. It means naming your intention rather than defending your tone, allowing steadiness to be enough, trusting that consistency is a form of devotion, and letting misunderstanding exist without letting it redefine you. This is quiet work. It's deeply personal, and it often requires space and support because reclamation doesn't happen through willpower alone. It happens through reflection, witnessing, and gentle reinforcement of what's true. This is where community matters. This is one of the reasons I created the 6 and 6 Mastermind. 6 and 6 is a 6-week virtual mastermind for people who give a lot, emotionally, relationally, and professionally, and are ready to tend to themselves with the same care they offer others. It's especially supportive for those who have been misunderstood in their strengths. Inside this space, we slow down enough to gently examine where mislabeling has been internalized. Separate who you are from how you've been perceived. Re-anchor in the truth of your strengths without defensiveness. And be witnessed by others who understand quiet leadership and steady presence. You don't have to convince anyone of who you are here. You get to remember. Before we close, I want to offer you a question. Not to answer quickly, but to sit with over time. Instead of asking, how do I prove this isn't a flaw? Try asking instead, what does this strength make possible when it's honored? That question moves you out of self-defense and into self-trust. And often, it brings a deep exhale with it, the kind that reminds you that nothing about you needs fixing. If you've spent years carrying the weight, the quiet weight, of being misunderstood, please hear this clearly. You are not too much. You are not lacking. You are not misbuilt for leadership, for connection, or for impact. You are bringing real strengths into a world that often rushes to label instead of listen. And you don't have to navigate that alone. The 6 and 6 Mastermind Spring Session is now open for registration. The 6-week virtual mastermind designed for people who give generously and are ready for a space where their strengths are honored, not questioned. Early bird pricing is available for everyone who registers on or before March 15th, and group pricing is also available if you'd like to participate alongside colleagues, friends, or members of your community. You can learn more and register through the link in the show notes wherever you're listening. And as always, if one-on-one coaching would feel like the most supportive next step for you right now, you're warmly invited to reach out and connect. Thank you for being here. Thank you for leading with the steady and in the steady, thoughtful, deeply human way you do. I'm so glad you're a part of this community. Until next time, my friends, take good care. I know you have a lot of options on how you carve out your day and spend your time, and I'm honored that you decided to spend some time here today at Tutum Talk. Remember that leadership, it isn't something that we master once. It's something we grow into, moment by moment. My hope is that today offered you a little more clarity, a little more courage, and a reminder that you're not leading alone. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It grows from connection, curiosity, and the courage to keep showing up. I'm Cara, and this has been Tutum Talk, exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond.
Thank you.